Today was the second Trail Life Troop 1012 Outdoor Expo fundraiser at the Cornerstone World Outreach in Sioux City to help showcase what Trail Life is about to friends and families around Siouxland who are thinking about joining. Trail Life USA is a leadership program for young men ages 5 to 12. And today, everyone got to be a part of the fun. During the event, there was over 20 activity stations for people to enjoy, including archery, an obstacle course, pony rides, robotics, rope climbing, paintball, and so much more. Later on in the night, dinner was served with s'mores and hot apple cider, and an acoustic worship service played to wrap up the night.
It's really to put on display all of the different activities that we get to do with boys ages 5 through 12 during the year as a part of the Trail Life program, and to put that on display for the friends and family of those that are a part of Trail Life and those that maybe want to be a part.
Trail Life USA is a troop organization that's designed to give young men skills, everything from hiking, kayaking, swimming, and climbing. Loomis says it's Bible-based that allows the kids to connect to God while exploring the outdoors.
Today it's just about having fun and enjoying a good meal, seeing what Trail Life is about, and seeing the possibilities. Hopefully some young boys come and they're like, man, this is really fun. I would like to do this every week. And hopefully they talk their parents into letting them be a part of the program.
For those interested in being a part of Trail Life Troop 1012, Loomis says boys can sign up at their weekly meetings held every Wednesday at Cornerstone World Outreach from 6:45 to 8 p.m.